Hi, this is my friend Shane, and my name is Jasmine, and I'm interviewing him because he was adopted by an interracial family. So I'm going to be asking a couple questions today. So Shane, when did you find out that you were adopted?
It was never so much as being sat down and being told, Shane, just to let you know you were adopted. It was apparent just as I was growing up that my family was a little bit different than other families, just because, I mean, me as an individual who had a way darker skin tone than my parents because they are Caucasian, um, it was just kind of like associated as I was growing up. I think that we were actually read plenty of books, me and I have two older siblings that are also adopted, and it was just part of growing up, just to let you know, like, you were adopted, your parents loved you, we love you, and your parents wanted a better life for you. So it was just kind of, I can't really pinpoint a specific age.
Right.
It was just part of growing up. I would say by the time I was in kindergarten, I was well aware of it. It was never like some like shock and awe.
Okay.
So.
Did it ever make you feel different than the rest of your siblings or your biological siblings?
It made me feel a little bit different, not when I was younger, just more so as I was growing up at a younger age, which is really hard to explain. So I would say as I was younger, maybe like through the time that I was born up until third grade, I just felt like, like colors and anything, nobody really realizes anything. And then it was around fourth, fifth, sixth grade that I was like, okay, my family dynamic is much different than other people's and things like that, which is when I started getting questions from friends and things like that.
Okay.
So it was never really feeling at a disadvantage. It was just since I was getting more questions, it kind of made me realize how different it was.
Okay. So do you come from a predominantly white family household or no?
I do. Both of my parents are white, and then, the first child that they adopted, he is also white. Did it stop?
No, keep going.
Okay.
Okay. And then they adopted. There's actually 5 kids.
Okay.
We're all 1 year apart. So the
Okay.
oldest one, Nathan, he's white, and then Josh was adopted a year later. He's African American, and then I'm adopted a year after that, and then a year after me, they had a child, and then they had another child. So it's there's 5 kids, 3 of them being white, and both my parents are white.
Oh, okay. So do you know your ethnic background or nationality?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Really?
I do have intentions of meeting my birth mother. I was actually planning on doing that this summer, so it's kind of weird that you brought that up.
Okay.
I think I told you before that once school slowed down and things like that, I'd be able to handle, juggling that. So yeah, I do plan on meeting her and getting more information as far as my background goes, health background, and things like that.
Okay. Was your name ever changed before you were officially adopted? Do you know that history, or do you know first and last name, I should say?
Well, my birth parents, knew as soon as my mother was pregnant that they couldn't give me the life that I deserved.
Okay.
So it was kind of arranged. Right away it was, well, we want to give our child up for adoption, and they had very specific family dynamics that they were looking towards. Like, my birth parents wanted me to be adopted by an interracial family.
Okay.
They didn't want it to be just an all-black family, an all-white family, because they didn't want me to feel misplaced.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of arranged, and my parents' name, like, not my birth parents, but my parents that I have now,
Right.
they knew what they were going into and had a name already picked out and things like that. So no, my name was never changed.
Okay. Did you ever feel that you couldn't relate to your other siblings, your biological siblings, or do you feel that you can relate more to your brother that was adopted just like you?
I would say that I can relate to really anybody in my family. Since I was adopted at such a young age and I have such a strong family structure, that I never have felt within my family that anybody gets priority over anybody else and things like that. I mean, yeah, if you're grounded, you're gonna get the bottom of the pickings. But no, as far as like being, me and all my siblings are just so close. I mean, since we are all 1 year apart, and like, I don't know, I just have a very strong,
connection
good family. So.
Okay. When you go to the doctors, How do you answer questions about your family history, knowing that you were adopted and you may not have that information or access to that information?
Typically I just say, you know, I was adopted, I don't really know the history. But I mean, I can answer health questions for myself.
Right.
As far as my history, which I mean, I don't really get sick very often, so I just let them know that.
Mhm.
And I mean, as far as actual background, as far as like cancers and things like that, I'm not really sure of.
Okay.
So.
So, would you change anything about your childhood growing up in an interracial family household?
Absolutely not. I am so happy. I really feel like I got the best opportunity that I could have possibly had. I think that my birth parents made an excellent decision. And I actually talked about this earlier with somebody, that me feeling a little misplaced for that little lapse of time, like when I was younger, actually made me a stronger person. It made me realize within myself that I have the ability to give a perspective that a lot of people don't. And so I feel like, to me, it's made me a much stronger person, and I can educate other people on how I personally felt and let them know that, you know, my birth parents made an excellent decision, because I think that I have had a great outcome for myself, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who doesn't think that they can take care of a child.
So, do you think that people should adopt outside their race?
I definitely think that, I don't think that race should be an issue whatsoever when it comes to adoption. I think that as long as you feel comfortable within yourself, then your child will feel comfortable also. Because since my parents were so strong about, you know, race doesn't matter, it's just, it's who you are, this is who I am, and you are my child, and I'm your parents, and it doesn't really affect anything. So that, since that's the upbringing that I had, I never felt out of place. I never felt
indifferent to the rest.
Yeah, indifferent to the rest of the family.
Okay. And my last question for you is, would you consider ever adopting another race? Have you ever felt about adopting, like?
I definitely want to adopt. I feel like since I was given such a great opportunity, I feel like I need to pay it forward.
Right.
And actually, I shouldn't say need to. I want to pay it forward. And I definitely see that being a part of my future. So.
And may I ask, for the record, for everyone to know, what are you graduating with, or did you graduate from EMU just yet or last?
I just graduated last semester.
In what?
With speech and language pathology, my bachelor's, and I just got my letter of acceptance to Fort Hays State University
for grad
school this August.
Congratulations.
So, thank you.
This is our. Is there anything else would you like to say?
I cannot really think of anything that we didn't cover. Just that honestly, I've had a great experience, a great family dynamic. It's made me a very strong person, and I feel like not only to me, but to my parents, to my other younger siblings who were my parents' birth children, I feel like it's really just given everybody an opportunity to really express to other people, you know, that this specific situation has been great for everybody. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Shane,
Yeah.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.